What's going on, my Flappy family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. It's kind of doing one of those Stephen A things that happened on First Take not too long ago. We're about to get into it, man. But before we do that, y'all make sure y'all hit the thumbs up for your boy if you like the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit 18.8. So if you can help me out with that, I highly appreciate it. And don't forget to get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about this. Let's get it. All right, so I mean, straight off the bat, man, you can see that it says bad juju. Sports media's lack of coverage for Juju Watkins is inexplicable. Dang, okay. Now, in my opinion, I feel like she's been getting a whole lot of coverage. I mean, getting more coverage than any sophomore that I've ever seen in my life. But, hey, man, hey, you know, and I mean, it's well deserved, right? I think she's a phenomenal player. I think she's killing it out there. But yeah, I think that's a false statement right off the bat, man. She's been getting a whole lot of coverage. But anyway, let's go into a piece of the article that was interesting to me, man. This part right here says Caitlin Clark versus Juju Watkins isn't a competition, it's a call to do better. Let's go ahead and see what they had to say, man. To be clear, comparing Watkins to Clark isn't about pitting two successful women against each other. Women in the public eye get enough of that treatment already, but the discrepancy in coverage between the two is both stark and telling. Clark deserved her flowers last season, and Watkins is more than poised to reach the same heights Clark did. Okay. And Watkins might even exceed Clark's success if USC can win a national championship before Watkins' career ends. Now, my whole thing, y'all know how I feel about the championship thing. That is a team accolade, in my opinion. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's going over Caitlin Clark's achievements, but we'll continue. The conversation isn't even about Watkins' endless potential. Her present talent and general appeal are obvious. It goes on to say it's equally obvious that sports media still has a lot of work to do when it comes to giving phenomenal female athletes like Juju Watkins the visibility they deserve. And it's not just Watkins that the industry is slighting. Women's basketball is teeming with talent, whether it's double-double queen Anissa Morrow, comeback kid Haley Van Lith, or freshman sharpshooter Michaela Blakes, just to name a few. I'm really trying to understand who are they talking about when it comes to sports media. Like, who are they talking about? Are they talking about themselves? Or maybe ESPN? Who are they talking about? I mean, have they made posts about these players that they just named? I'm guessing that their coverage is all women's basketball or women players. There's no way they are accusing everybody else and they're not covering these players. I wonder if they are covering these players. I gotta look at their website or something. I highly doubt it. Last year, sports media proved that the industry was capable of providing quality coverage to talented athletes via its coverage of Caitlin Clark. This season shows that the industry lacks consistency, and insufficient coverage does the sport of women's basketball no favors. There's no shortage of talent and star power in women's hoops, but in the post-Clark women's college basketball era, there is still a glaring shortage of coverage of such talent. It's time that sports media stop treating women's basketball like a passing trend and commit to quality, consistent coverage of the sport and the women that make it great, especially Juju Watkins. Look, I say it all the time. I would love for ESPN to cover women's basketball. I would love to take them on with their takes, see what they're saying about certain players, give my opinion on the things that they're saying. I would love for them to do that, but they don't do it. But my thing is, who are you calling sports media? Like, who are you identifying as sports media? So I wanted to see how many times they had actually talked about Juju Watkins since they're accusing everybody else of coverage. And I'm only seeing like 3 pictures here. And then it goes straight to Notre Dame. Got Caitlin Clark, Paige. I don't know what that's covering. Yeah, they don't even talk about Juju. What in the world, man? That's crazy. Juju is getting all the coverage in the world, man. I think for her to be a sophomore, I think this is the most I've ever heard about a sophomore. Tania Latson, I think she deserves more coverage that a lot of people don't talk about. Even Hannah Hidalgo, she's shooting more efficiently than Juju Watkins. I think she deserves a lot more coverage, but people don't cover her like that. So they're called awful announcing, and I guess it's awful announcing for a reason, man. It got to be a joke or something. I don't know. It got to be satire or something. I don't know, man, because this is crazy. Let's see what people said real quick, man. That first line is funny. Anything Clark can do, Juju can do. No, she can't actually. And winning a championship doesn't mean she exceeds Clark. It's a team accomplishment. Okay, somebody else thinking like me. You all gotta stop with the nonsense. And I already made my video about why Caitlin Clark was just more captivating at the time. But honestly, I think Juju was getting more coverage than Caitlin did when she was a sophomore. Lying in the first sentence probably isn't a great look for your credibility. Anything Caitlin can do, Juju Watkins can do too. Yeah, that was a crazy statement. So where's the love for the sophomore sensation from USC? You got to look at the proof, though. You know, like, Juju doesn't sell out her own home tickets. Like, she's playing at home, the crowd isn't sold out. So it's like, who are you really pointing your anger at? Who are you talking to when you're talking about people aren't supporting Juju? At this point, I'm convinced people are actually asking why Juju/Paige don't have the same fandom Cece does, because there is no way you think there is a lack of coverage of Juju. I agree with that too. I think people are so anxious to rush from greatness to greatness to greatness to greatness. It's like, just appreciate what you have right now. And the other great players that come along, man. But they're so ready to find a new thing, to find something to knock down Caitlin. I actually want to say this too about comparisons. I feel like it's a good and bad thing. Honestly, I don't mind having those type of conversations because it's basketball talk. And then on top of that, I've actually had conversations where people didn't know much about Caitlin Clark's whole college career. They were just kind of going off of the beef and rivalry that was going on in the W. And then once I started telling them about what Caitlin was doing in college, they actually understood why Caitlin Clark was getting all this star power and fandom, right? So I think it entices conversations and entices for people to learn about other players, which is what they should want, right? But I can see the bad side about it as far as, you know, you might be comparing somebody that's really good to somebody that's great, and you won't even appreciate how good this player is. You see what I'm saying? And some people don't even understand comparing two different positions, which is crazy because the biggest comparison in basketball history right now is LeBron James and Michael Jordan, which one plays small forward, the other plays shooting guard. Like, honestly, I don't even mind that. But a fan of basketball like me, I can appreciate two players while comparing. I can do it. I mean, I don't hate any player. I can always give props to other players when they're good. Like, even with the Juju and the Caitlin comparison, people are going to say I'm hating because I like Caitlin's game a little more than Juju's, and I feel like she's better than Juju. People are going to hate me for that, but it is what it is. That's just how I feel. That don't mean I hate Juju. That don't mean I don't like Juju's game. I say it all the time. I love her game. She is not a needle mover. I like her as a player, but her game is not something we haven't seen. And that's what I was saying in my other video. We've seen the game before, so it's just something that's just not as captivating. I love to watch it, but we have to think about the people that don't necessarily watch basketball or care about basketball. You have to get those people to watch. But like I said, sports heads, basketball lovers, they're going to love her game. They understand her game. I'm the type of person that loves the game so much, I like rebounds. I understand what rebounds do for winning the game. It's very important to rebound. So that's why I like Angel Reese. I can find value in Angel Reese's game. But people that don't necessarily know the game fully won't understand it. They won't care about it. They won't love it. They'll say it's boring. I get that too. Like I said in plenty of my videos, man, people gravitate towards greatness. You can't manufacture fandom. It just won't happen. It has to happen organically, or it will never happen at all. This is Juju's sophomore year. Give her 2 more years, and let's see what happens. Give her some time. I think a lot of people are trying to rush her greatness. You're trying to rush her fandom, trying to rush her accolades. Give her some time, man. She's going to get there. She's going to get her fan base together. She's a sophomore. Let me know how y'all feel about this article and what was said in it. How do y'all feel about comparisons? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Is it something that you understand as far as keeping the basketball conversations alive. Let me know in the comment section. I love y'all. Y'all keep it smooth.